So, honestly, I never thought I'd be talking about a live action adaptation of an anime on this channel, because generally speaking, I mainly want to be positive and talk about anime and anime adjacent media that I actually like, and most live action adaptations are just awful. But tonight, I am talking about the One Piece live action adaptation by Netflix. From the outset, a One Piece adaptation has a lot going against it. The source material has a complex, meticulously created world, a specific and unique tone, and a goofy, cartoony style that would be hard to translate. But if you reduce One Piece to its absolute core, it's about a charming young boy with big dreams and a good heart. If you nail that, the rest can form around it. And this adaptation really found its Luffy in Inaki Godoy, who was just born to play this role. A role, mind you, that the fanbase didn't even know they wanted. He really captures the essence of the character. His infectious high energy, his devil-may-care nature, his positive attitude, but also his sense of justice. According to author Oda Ichiro, Inaki landed the role because he was able to make Oda laugh. And yeah, that means the legendary mangaka himself was involved in making decisions in the development of this adaptation, including the casting. And the casting choices for the rest of the Straw Hats are just as inspired. Mackenyu, who is absolutely no stranger to live-action adaptations of anime, plays our favourite three-sword-wielding fighter, Zoro. His portrayal leans further into Zoro's cool and detached demeanour when compared to the original, but it works for this adaptation. I wouldn't have initially imagined Zoro to have such fine facial features, but it is undeniable that Mackenyu absolutely embodies the character and his physicality. Nami is easily the most complex and conflicted character within the East Blue Saga. Luckily for us, Emily Rudd is completely up to the task of portraying the Straw Hat Crew's navigator. She really plays the whole I'm not committing to this pirate thing, but I'm also becoming subtly attached thing so damn well. But also, it's an absolute joy watching her dealing with being the only sensible member of the group. The God Sniper himself is played by Jacob Romero. Usopp is probably the hardest character to translate into live action, as he is probably the most cartoony of the crew. Because of this, he is probably the most changed character. While his over-the-top cowardly nature had to be subdued, his comedic wisecracking side is emphasized. Although Jacob does an excellent job in the role, I would like to see a bit more of the character's identity highlighted in upcoming seasons though. Also, did Usopp just kill a guy? Actually, now that I think about it, this show is shockingly violent. I mean, One Piece can be surprisingly violent at times, but this is something else. And last, but certainly not least, we have Taz Skylar as the lovesick cook Sanji. And he really owns the role with the small amount of screen time he has gotten so far. I'm certainly glad that they minimized his simping and pervy nature, because that would just be uncomfortable in live action. We do get this moment though.
You're all okay!
Where's Luffy?
And it's one of my favorite parts of the show. The main joy of this show, but also One Piece as a whole, is watching and spending time with these lovable characters. These are definitely slightly different versions of the characters we may know from the pages of the manga, but that is not necessarily a bad thing. I really like these versions of the Straw Hat Crew. They are all individually charming in similar ways the original characters are. But also the actors have incredible chemistry on screen, but also off screen in things like press tours. But a show isn't made great just by its lead cast alone. There is a large team behind this production who help make these iconic scenes be brought to life. And since we're talking about the East Blue Saga of One Piece, you just know there is a slew of iconic scenes, and yes, they are done marvelously. The real-life sets of boats, the faithful costumes that stick to the manga's crazy aesthetic, the wirework fight choreography, the impressive VFX, it all just works. You can just tell that the team has a genuine passion and adoration for the source material. This adaptation was done in complete earnestness, which is important because One Piece is genuinely one of the most earnest and sincere stories ever told. One Piece is One Piece, and it's proud of what it is, but also it puts a big focus on kindness, being good, but most of all, just having fun. The overall absence of cynicism is extremely refreshing for adaptations, especially for Western live-action anime adaptations. You can really see this in how faithful they are to a lot of the ideas, characters, and themes, but you can also see this visually as they embrace the wacky pirate world, even though it looks kinda dumb sometimes, but that's okay, because One Piece looks dumb sometimes. I do have some criticisms though. In the original, at the start of the story, the Greater World is indifferent to Luffy's existence. Gradually over time, Luffy earns recognition and renown through his actions and accomplishments. So when you involve a character like Garp much earlier into the narrative, it takes away from this aspect. Not only does he have a close relation to Luffy, but he is also a person of great importance to this world. And his plot directly revolves around pursuing Luffy. Look, I see what they're trying to do here with this version, but this is one of my favorite aspects of One Piece's writing and world building, so I find it a little disappointing being mishandled. Also, I'm not a huge fan of involving Arlong throughout the narrative, especially at the expense of other villains' screen time being cut. Again, seeing what they're going for here, but it doesn't gel with me. These criticisms are definitely minor in the face of everything this show does right. While I don't think it's on the pedigree of prestige level television, Netflix's One Piece is an impressive achievement for adaptation, particularly for Western anime adaptations. It really highlights what a genuinely good adaptation can provide to a community. In terms of live action anime adaptations, we really haven't had a positive example before to examine. It can act as fan service for longtime fans, and as an alternative way to appreciate the story you already love. But perhaps more importantly, it acts as a potential gateway for newcomers. That is what happened to the Cozy Spirit, isn't that right? So yeah, I really like this adaptation, and it's very refreshing to have a live action version we don't have to be embarrassed about, or just ignore. It really is an achievement, and I actually cannot believe One Piece is the one to achieve it. On paper, it doesn't seem to be a good fit for live action adaptation. I am genuinely excited and looking forward to further installments in this version. Just wanted to share my thoughts fashionably late as usual. Neon Spirit, signing out. Wait. There was a One Piece anime reboot announced by Wit Studios? Who saw that coming so soon? And before the manga is finished? One Piece fans are certainly eating good lately. The One Piece is real, and it's all the great adaptations we got along the way.